Massive amounts of water began flowing through the Friendship Dam on Friendship Lake. Take a look at this drone video sent by a viewer, Jake Rosenberry. You can see rushing water sweeping through the dam here and into Friendship Park. Highway 13, which goes over the dam, was closed because of the rushing water, and dozens of nearby homes were voluntarily evacuated. Just after 10 o'clock, the National Weather Service issued a flash flood watch for areas downstream to Castle Rock Lake. That will continue through 10 o'clock tonight. Early reports suggested the dam had failed, but the Adams County Sheriff's Office says that's not the case. They say this flooding was intentional. News Channel 7 has team coverage of this breaking story tonight. News Channel 7's Maria Schatkowski was one of the first media in the state to get to the scene this morning. Maria, why did this happen?
Stephanie, I arrived on scene at about 10 this morning, and already the Adams County Sheriff's Department was closing roads and blocking any access to the dam. But already at that time, the water was significantly lower than it was at about 8 this morning when the flooding was beginning. The Sheriff's Department tells me that at about 6, there was a notification of water seepage at the dike north of Friendship Dam. The dam operator and authorities found the sudden level of water in Friendship Lake to be very high. In response, they immediately let water flow through the dam to avoid a dangerous structure failure.
He had to open the dam up to relieve the pressure on the dike, so the flowage that people are experiencing to the west of this location is intentional, that we've opened the dam, that the dam opener has opened it up to relieve that pressure. And obviously, like I said, we've seen that has worked because that seepage has stopped.
The DNR and DOT are also on scene and have been assisting local departments all day. They are inspecting the dam and the dike to see if there are any significant damages. At this hour, we're not sure if recent rains caused the water levels to be so high, but Sheriff Wallins tells me that the dam operator was monitoring the regular flowage. And again, it was the emergency response to the high level in Friendship Lake that caused the flooding. Residents were not notified prior because they had to act quickly, but protocol was taken to ensure that any houses that may have been affected had the dam or dike failed would have been safe. Stephanie?
Thank you, Maria. As we told you, dozens of families voluntarily evacuated in a hurry this morning ahead of the flooding. News Channel 7's Kevin Carr has been talking to those who evacuated. He joins us now live near where some of those residents were. Kevin, what did they encounter this morning?
Yes, Stephanie, evacuations done earlier today. The reception area where people could go, set up by the Red Cross for those evacuations if they wanted to leave their homes, that's been closed for a few hours now. But the Adams County Emergency Management says that it was set up for hours prior to that in case they did want somewhere to be while they left their home just because of those rising waters. Now, Sheriff Sam Wallen of the Adams County Sheriff's Department does tell me that those evacuations were not mandatory. They were actually voluntary and were just in place as an emergency precaution in case the dam here in Friendship did actually break just from the water being released there. Now, right now, firefighters, State Patrol, other agencies, they were working all day to help kind of work on evacuating those residents. Residents were not notified prior to the flooding, but during it as the water began to be released from the dam. And while many chose to actually stay in their homes, many chose not to just because of those rising waters.
The children's play structure, I noticed, was like half underwater. It was like, oh my goodness. We just moved to everything from the basement up to the upper level.
Now, because those evacuations were not mandatory, residents can return to their homes anytime they want to. And while multiple roads around the Friendship area were closed around where the flooding here in Friendship Park did take place, only County Highway N north of County Road J remains closed at this point. Sheriff Wallen says he has not seen any property damage from the flooding so far, and he says there have been no injuries from the release of water from the Friendship Dam. Now, emergency management here in Adams County says the Little Roche-a-Cree Creek that connects to the dam here in Friendship Park and also connects to other homes can potentially erode the land around those properties nearby. So they advise residents who do go back to their homes tonight to just be watchful of those waters, and if waters do rise too high, to get to higher ground and get out of that area. Stephanie?
Kevin, thank you. And as Maria said, emergency management officials in Adams County are concerned about what more rain could mean for this situation.